Yeah. Wait, I mean, invite then. I didn't get an invite. I'm not in. First semifinal of the LoL-BD Summer Championship, pardon me, against Godlike Gaming and Thrashers. Godlike Gaming against Thrashers. Excuse me again. So, the first ban from blue team, which is Godlike Gaming, is going to be Yasuo. Now, Yasuo has been a very favored champion in this tournament, like being instrumental in a lot of team success, so it makes sense why they want to ban it out. Purple team, Thrashers have banned out Jax and Syndra, possibly targeting the mid laner because Syndra is actually one of the most strongest champions in SkyBD's champion pool. So they do not want him on Syndra. And Jax is also Vicky's favorite champion, so am I saying that right? Is Jax Vicky's favorite champion? Like his main? Bachi? Cricket noises everywhere. Anyway, so about Jax. Jax is actually a really strong top laner once he gets to late game. Split push is pretty much unstoppable and it takes like 2 to 3 people to stop him. And even in team fights, he can just insta dive the ADC and kill him in 2 or 3 hits. Literally 2 or 3 hits if the crit, lands from Trinity Force. And it's just an annoyance to deal with him because he gets tanky from his ultimate and he just needs a Blade of the Rune King and Trinity Force to deal damage. And then he gets tanky. The other bans from blue team are Fizz and Morgana. Obviously, Fizz is a very slippery little champion who you can't kill, but actually does a lot of burst damage in the late game and the mid game. He has some early game weaknesses against ranged harass, but those are mitigated substantially once he hits level 6. Morgana has been an all-time favorite support throughout this tournament. Her Black Shield coupled with her catching ability using her bind and her AoE ultimate, which stuns everyone that gets caught out in the range. Really,
and that's also pretty much Council Naga's two both main champion.
Yeah,
one Morgana and Leona. Leona has been taking Godlike Gaming. That was their strategy, I guess.
They wanted to outpick Council Naga, but they forgot to account for his Zyra because his Zyra is actually pretty strong.
Yes, exactly.
And King Bradley, I guess, is gonna pick Lucian for Invincible because Invincible actually plays a really good Lucian, and Lucian is one of the strongest ADCs in this meta right now, very in-meta ADC. And I forgot to talk about the third ban for Purple Team, which was Blitzcrank. Now, apparently, I guess Purple Team, which is Thrashers, had problems dealing with a Blitzcrank, otherwise I don't see any reason to ban it, because you can just harass a Blitzcrank in the early game really hard and just push him out of lane early and then get a lead, and then he can't just come back. Even if the jungler helps, his only utility is a pull, which can be mitigated by a lot of supports nowadays. Like, a pull is just useless against support who can dodge or I guess a Morgana, but Morgana's been banned out. So really a blitz ban makes sense, I guess. Siam, I guess, has played Blitzcrank in this tournament, and they do not want him picking Blitzcrank. So about the picks from blue team, Mystical Elf God picks Caitlyn, obviously a very safe ADC, good DPS in the early and late game. Vicky has picked in Wukong. Wukong is probably one of the strongest top laners and junglers in the game right now. Not really a strong top laner, but actually a really strong jungler. The reason why I said not really a strong top laner is because his success rate is too hit or miss. You either snowball really hard by cheesing his level 2 burst combo, or fail really hard and die, and you can't get back into lane since he's an AD caster and he requires an advantage in lane in order to gain his items. And in the jungle, his invisibility allows him to make Shaco-esque ganks from mid lane or to top lane. So that's pretty much one of the strongest points of Wukong jungle. And Invincible is gonna pick in Vi for King Gravity, obviously a main champion for King Gravity. He has been playing Vi a lot in this tournament. And Vi is just one of those characters who are just really easy to play, and she can do really good mid lane ganks, and that's pretty much it. She can dive an important target, lock him down, and wait for the team to burst them down, or just burst them down by herself because of her huge damage that she gains from her W and E. And BD Kill Dog has picked in Volibear, which is one of his mains aside from I forget, Garen and Warwick. So he's going for Volibear because he believes that he needs tankiness. So he's going for a champion who will provide a solid front line for Thrashers, be really difficult to kill, and can really zone out the assassins like the assassins like Kassadin or Wukong, or even cause problems with the backline for Caitlyn if he is allowed to go there. Now, Expired has picked in a Hecarim jungle. Now, Hecarim jungle, we've only seen Expired play Hecarim jungle all throughout this tournament, and he was fantastic on it. Ganking every single lane with Hecarim, taking advantage of Hecarim's insane map presence with his E, and using really well-timed ults to change fights in favor of his team. Expired is actually a really good jungler who I'm watching out for this tournament, because I might just face him in the final if I win, of course. Assuming I win, which is really cocky, but I guess so. I really want to face Expired in the jungle, so he has picked in Hecarim and Sky.
Another jungle of Expired is Jarvan.
Yeah, well, Jarvan is something that he picks when Hecarim is banned out, I guess, or when he sees that he needs more hard CC and more locking down potential when his team lacks it. But in this team comp, he has a Leona and a Wukong.
Wake up.
So I guess he realized that he doesn't need to pick a champion with that much lockdown. He can pick his Hecarim and use his insane map mobility to cause havoc in the lanes. And now SkyVD has picked in Kassadin. Kassadin is one of those champions who Riot has worked tediously hard to balance, but they can't balance him at all. Now, he is in a better state than he was before. Like, he was really stupidly OP before, but now he's just OP. Not stupidly OP, he's just OP now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. A champion with that much mobility, and his utility has been taken away from him somewhat because of the removal of the silence, but he still does a lot of damage with his W, his Q, and his E. So pretty much a dangerous champion all throughout the game after he hits level 6. Forbidden Requiem goes for a Talon. Now Talon is actually a really good champion against Kassadin because he can actually silence Kassadin before unloading his full burst combo, so that Kassadin is unable to rift walk away from the damage that is incoming. So I guess Talon is a pretty good pick against Kassadin.
What do you think about Talon's late game?
Well, Talon's late game is pretty much hit or miss. He needs his front line to tank the damage for him and like shift the focus away from the supports and the peelers, away from him and towards the frontliners, so that he can go in, get dangerously close to the ADC and unload his full burst combo, because Talon actually has no reliable way of going into an ADC. The only way he has to go in is by using his silence jump, like his cutthroat, which is actually really short range, so he has to get up close and personal to deal damage to the ADC. So it kind of depends on the skill of the player and the skill of the peelers and the supports of the enemy ADC that he's targeting, because if the support is ever vigilant for Talon, like when he comes in and he stuns him, and that's pretty much the end for Talon because all he has to do now is ult away. And if he ults away, he's not going to be able to deal so much damage. He's only going to be able to deal damage from his ultimate, which isn't even amplified from with his E. So that's going to be really bad for Talon as if he wants to go back in, he won't have his ult to get out. So that's pretty much it. Talon wins lanes, but team fights, it's pretty iffy.
We're just about to get into the loading screen. I mean, both teams have good damage, and both of them have good composition. So I think it's going to be a really good match. I mean, this semi-final. I mean, starting from now, it's all going to be good matches between all the four teams because all these teams are really good.
Yeah,
these matchups.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this tournament has yielded teams in the semifinals who have actually played well. There have been countless tournaments in the past where favorites for the tournament have been knocked out during the group stages, and the minnows, if you will, have climbed up to the semifinals, and they didn't perform as well as they did in the group stages. So I'm glad to see that the teams who have actually performed well consistently throughout the group stages have actually made it into the semifinals of this tournament. So I'm hoping to see a very competitive match, not very one-sided at all, like the quarterfinals. So
No, quarterfinals was one-sided. They pretty much these teams they pretty much dominated all the matches. None of the matches actually went into the third game.
Yeah, every match ended 2-0. So that was pretty like boring for us to commentate on. Like we're saying they have a huge lead, and 15 minutes later they still have a huge lead. 10 minutes later they're still winning team fights. They're still having a huge goal lead. They're still obliterating the enemy team, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'm hoping that we get to see some really intense back and forth between these two teams.
Hey, wake up.
Nice.
We're still waiting for the players to
look at Kassadin with teleport. Did you see that?
Yeah, Kassadin has picked teleport instead of ignite, so I guess he doesn't want killing power in lane and wants to be able to gank bottom lane really quickly, like out of the blue. Say they force an engage 3v2 on bot lane, the Kassadin teleport and jungler intervention from Expired can really turn around fights anywhere in the lane if both of them are there, of course. So he's got to be ever vigilant so that he doesn't use his TP too late or too early, because if he uses his TP too early when the gank has not even come into the fruition stage where they start fighting each other, then they are going to back off and his TP is going to be wasted. Talon can just easily free push his lane. Now, he has to account for that as well, even when anticipating the fight and teleporting. Like when you leave a lane against a Talon who is pretty much a high pusher with his W, you're risking a lot, you're risking your tower a lot, because Talon's going to be able to put down a lot of damage on the tower, possibly take it down to half HP if you allow him to do so. So he's going to have to look for opportunities when Talon backs off so that he can teleport to bottom lane and then recall back or just rift walk back into mid lane. So I guess that's what he should be aiming for. Right now we're seeing Matt Thrashers going in for an invade. Time does spot them out with his ward. I mean, himself, he spots them out with himself and lays out a ward just in case. Now, there are pings from purple team signaling them to go back to the red buff to make sure that they didn't invade the red buff. But I guess they won't, because Expired is going to start blue. King Bradley is going to start blue as well. So pretty much normal starts for both junglers.
Yes. I mean, the exhaust is going to be handy for Council Naga if even if Kassadin comes bot. You know, the
Yeah,
recent buffs to
Zyra has a
exhaust.
lot of disengage, and if they can hold the gankers long enough, I guess King Bradley, I mean, King Bradley and if they can hold them back long enough, that I guess King Bradley and Forbidden Requiem can come in to help them really quickly. But it's not Kassadin mid; it's Kassadin top.
Okay, so they just switch lane just because uh, Talon counters Kassadin.
Yeah, well, now this is going to be really interesting to see how they face off against each other as Wukong can cheese level 2 gank. I mean, not gank, burst down Talon. Like, his QE combo actually deals a serious amount of damage at level 2. So, and we have a pause from Matt Thrashers.
A summoner has disconnected.
Apparently, Invincible is DC and Talon is having animation problems. Oh wait, Lucian is having animation problems. I guess he was seeing that his Lucian was actually running around. It wasn't running around, it was his Lucian was standing, but when he right clicked, the standing Lucian model actually moved. So I guess that was the animation problem. Be right back.
A summoner has reconnected.
The game is about to resume. Turret. Another pause. King Bradley was countering Hecarim. He was having a go.
A summoner has disconnected.
Sorry about that, guys. There were some problems with my microphone, so I had to fix that really quickly. And I missed the part. I missed commentating about the part where King Bradley actually came in to steal the red buff of expired, but he should have just stolen the red buff and then went after it. And then if he went after expired, I guess expired would have died because
Of
the red buff damage would have been enough.
Yeah, and the red buff slow.
Yeah, and the red buff slow, so he should have just smite stole the red buff, or when forbidden or when expired failed the smite on red buff. Like, he failed the smite and had like 30 or 40 HP remaining. King Bradley could have just went in and did an auto attack so that he could have stolen away the red buff. So I guess that's what he should have done.
I don't think he's going to get the kill because
no, he's not going to get the kill. He's already gone, and King Bradley has taken E and W, not even Q. So
also his flash and expired just activated his ghost. So
yeah, expired's gonna live, but it's gonna set him back. No, it's actually not gonna set him back because he already secured both his buffs. So pretty much a minor setback for Expired. He's not going to be able to gank at level 3, but neither is King Bradley going to be able to gank at level 3 because he hasn't even picked up his red buff yet. So that pretty much comes into nothingness except for the burning of the 2 summoners of the junglers. So yeah. Here comes Wukong, ready to assist his teammate. Talon flashes in. W's could not get anything on it. Wukong stays in too long, but the Ignite is ticking down. Will it kill him? No, because there is no red buff on Bradley. And if there was any red buff on Bradley, that was a dead Wukong. So they pretty much missed 2 kills because Bradley didn't really get to steal the red buff away. So, but it's pretty much unfair to say that Bradley can steal away the red buff because it was so fast. Like the Hecarim pretty much took red buff, smited it, and then Q'd, and then the red buff was taken. So I guess Bradley didn't have much of a choice there. He just waited there for nothing. I guess he should have just smited the red buff when it came.
Meanwhile, the lane swap isn't going well for Godlike Gaming.
The lane swap is going well because Talon has already wasted his flash for a kill that he could not get, while Wukong.
Look at Kassadin's.
Wukong has also wasted his flash, and now Talon doesn't have Ignite. So next time Wukong goes in, Talon's gonna be in a lot of trouble. Now in top lane, we see Dot with 21 CS and Kassadin with 12 CS. Of course, Kassadin can't really stay on par with a Volibear in duels because Volibear is actually one of the strongest duelists in the game because of his passive and percentage missing HP frenzy coupled with the slow and flip. So that's pretty much a lot of burst damage that he has in his repertoire, while Kassadin is pretty much a weak champion who relies on cheesy roaming. Meanwhile, we do see a jungler duel coming in the mid lane. This one, Bradley is going to win this one, but Talon goes in, silences the Wukong. Wukong goes out, and Expired goes out as well. So that was actually good jungling by Bradley to hit level 4 before the Hecarim did. So he actually could capitalize on something. Now they are going for a gank on the Wukong. Wukong goes in biz. Bradley does charge the Q, hits the Q. And meanwhile in bot lane, we actually missed the first blood that happens on Invincible. Now, that was actually a DC. That's pretty rough for Invincible, I guess. He got killed when he was DC.
Yeah, he wasn't moving. They
Yeah,
can't play like
that's
this,
pretty
you know.
sad.
Like the last match they played, Invincible was all getting DC'd
A
constantly.
summoner has reconnected.
They already have a sub. They should sub in.
Yeah, well, Invincible needs to fix his internet because it's gonna cost his team dearly. It's actually really, really disastrous because bot lane, first blood in bot lane can pretty much set the ADC to snowball against you. So that, I don't know how it's gonna pan out, but let's see what happens. I guess if Invincible's net stays stable throughout the entire match, I guess they stand a chance of remaining equal in lane. But if he keeps getting DC'd like that, he's gonna miss a lot of. He might miss a lot of CS by being DC and his team pausing and his team unpausing and then he coming back into lane. So yeah, that's not gonna be good for Godlike game for Max Thrashers, I guess.
He got DC'd twice, but he's still up in farm.
He is still up in farm, but that's pretty much, I guess, due to the mechanical skill of Invincible compared to Mystical Elf God. I'm not saying one player is better than the other, but apparently one player is better at CSing than the other because even with his 2 DCs, he's still up 4 CS. But I guess Kaiten's gonna close that difference because he now has a free farm lane because Lucian's not there. Lucian's already dead, so he can only gather up like 8 to 9 CS before backing off to get items. So not a total loss right there. But I'm worried about this top lane. Even if Kassadin hits level 6, he's not going to be able to take advantage of his insane roaming power. Even without teleport, Kassadin does have insane roaming power because of his Rift Walk. But when you're in top, you're isolated from the rest of the game because it takes so long to get to mid lane, and not to mention bot lane is just a teleport only lane. You can't go there unless you teleport from top lane. Like if you walk down from top lane to bot lane without taking the opponent's tower, which Kassadin is highly unlikely to do in this scenario against a Volibear, you're gonna
Yeah,
be
because your
trouble.
tower is vulnerable, so
Yeah, your tower is gonna be really vulnerable. So I guess when BT Kill Dart turns on the screws and goes aggressive, I mean tightens the screws and goes aggressive, that's gonna be really tough. That's gonna be a really tough time for Kassadin because he has to rip walk away every single time from the CS and the XP, mainly from Volibear, to save himself. Now
let's
we
see
do
which
standard
item
pause.
Binnacle Dirt buys after he goes back to his base.
Supposedly he's gonna buy magic resist. He bought cloth armor at first, hoping to face a
Lane with
Wukong.
Wukong.
Yeah, hoping to face Wukong, but then the lane swap happened, so I guess he's gonna itemize for a quick Spirit Visage or something. That should be his primary focus right now.
Expired already bought the sweeping lens, where Vi's are still with the wording totem.
Well, different playstyles, I guess. Some people like warding their jungle entrances or the enemy's jungle entrances to gain vision, and some people like dewarding. Me personally, I think that you should always get the warding totem at level 1, and at your second or first back, if you can, like if you want, you can get the red trinket. But what I do is I keep the warding totem on junglers like Lee Sin. On only Lee Sin, I keep the warding totem until I get a sightstone. But on other junglers, I always get.
There's already a gank in mid lane. Do you think Becky is going down? Okay, is that?
Yeah, Vikey was done, so I didn't really bother commentating on that because he doesn't have flash. He even got hit by the Q when he was cloned, so that was pretty much curtains. Like when you get hit by the Vi Q and there's a Talon bearing down on you and Vi shreds your armor, you're pretty much dead.
A
Talon
summoner has
already hit level
disconnected.
6.
Invincible
Disconnect.
DC again.
They only have pretty much like around 7 minutes left. After that, Nat Thrashers have to either sub someone. I mean, they don't have any pause time after that.
Yeah, if like the if like invincible DCs even after that, it's gonna be really problematic, seriously problematic for Matt Thrashers.
Moment of silence for Invisible.
Well, we're still waiting for Invincible to connect because this Bangladeshi internet, man, this sucks. I just want a tournament where people don't get DC'd. That's pretty much the dream for any Bangladeshi tournament organizer. No one gets DC'd. But that's pretty much impossible when you're doing a tournament where people are playing from their homes. Because home internet is so unstable nowadays that you can't really expect your internet to stay 24/7. You can expect it to stay 24 hours, but not 7 days a week. Like once in a while, you will get DC'd, so it's pretty much inevitable, and you just gotta deal with it. This is just how life in Bangladesh is. Sadness. Clarify to me how much pause timer do Matt Thrashers have?
Only like around 5 minutes now.
All right. So
Because-
if they don't settle this DC problem really quickly, they're gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the items for each team's players. Talon has got himself a double Doran's blade, while Wukong has got himself
Hey,
a
wake
Doran's blade and a longsword and boots of
User
speed.
left your channel.
Now, Volibear. Wait, hold on.
Is clearly 16 CS ahead of SkyVD.
Yeah, and he hasn't even backed once, so that's why he has the cloth armor. And Sky VD hasn't even backed off once either, so he has 29 CS because he's having problems farming against a Volibear. If he goes into farm, he's gonna be chomped into pieces. Like, Volibear's gonna eat him up because even if you hit level 6 with Kassadin, your damage is so minuscule against a Volibear who builds tanky, while Volibear just scales with damage against squishy targets. You're gonna have a really hard time now. So, taking into account these supports, Leona has a relic shield and a sight stone, so that's pretty much providing her with a lot of tankiness. While Zyra only has a Spell Thieves Edge, which is a starting item. So I guess he hasn't backed off in a
Hey,
while,
wake up.
so that's why this is the only item that he has. And King Bradley hasn't even backed off either, so he's still stuck with the machete
Hey,
level
wake
1.
up.
And Expired has gone back for his Spirit Stone. Now Talon's gonna dive in. This dive looks risky, but he does calculate it and gets away with 200 HP even though he missed the W. The damage from his E, Q, and R was enough to kill the level 4 Hecarim, who was actually really squishy and should not have stayed there. So this is one of the most retarded disadvantages of Hecarim jungle. You get behind once and you're not going to be able to get back into the game at all unless your team helps you snowball back like really hard. He's going to have serious problems going back into this game because there's a Vi, and if you're behind as a jungler against a Vi, it's GG for you because Vi is just gonna ult in, Q your ADC or any squishy target, then mash them down with her percentage HP damage and armor shred. So if you're not ahead or on par with Vi when she ganks, it's gonna be curtains. And now Wukong does think about going in against the Talon, but I guess that's not a good idea because Talon's level 6 and he's only level 5. But he still lays down more damage than the Talon did to him, so that's pretty much a win for
Hey, wake
Wukong.
up.
And he'll get stronger as the game goes on. So pretty much what Godlike gaming should do is utilize their map presence, utilize their global, utilize their Hecarim, and really setting place. But I guess
Now look at Talon.
Vicky actually died because he went in too prematurely when he recently hit level 6, but he had limited mana and didn't have time to react. And Talon just got to unload his full burst combo. His E actually amplifies the damage from his Q. Now, Bradley has this place warded, but he's going to be caught out by the Leona and the Caitlyn as well. And that's going to be resulting in a kill for Caitlyn. So pretty much cementing that lead in bot lane because Caitlyn gets the blue buff, so she can spam her Q and her net whatever she likes. So that was not a calculated invade from Bradley. He should have taken into account the enemy bot laner's position before going in for that steal. Now Kassadin is farming in his top lane under tower pretty nicely, not bad. He's doing the best he can against the Volibear. So I'm pretty much not that dissatisfied with Kassadin's farming. Like he really can't do any better in this scenario unless his jungler comes to help him, but his jungler is unable to help him because he is just coming back into this game. He only hit level 6 a few minutes ago, and he had to use his ult against the Vi who invaded him. So that's pretty much it. Now, what Hecarim
But
is
I
trying
think
to do,
they should not have swapped lanes because it didn't help. I mean, he's getting pretty much countered in top 2. Kassadin, he can't farm. Look at the CS difference. It's pretty much 35. And
I guess it was a lack of matchup knowledge. I guess like which champion does better against which champion. They should have stuck Kassadin in mid lane because at least Kassadin stood a chance against a Talon
Yes.
more than he stands a chance against Volibear.
He could
And
have just
even
farmed right
now-
now, like just right now he's doing. He could have farmed just under the turret. I mean, not going too much aggressive. I mean, until he hits level 6, and
And
Wukong
then
would
he
have
could
done.
just used his insane roam potential to go to bottom lane and shut down the Caitlyn, who is actually, I mean, no, actually,
Lucian.
cement the lead for the Caitlyn, lead for the Caitlyn, because apparently the Caitlyn is snowballing. Now we do see a great fight coming in from bottom lane, and if Godlike keeps on auto attacking, he might get a kill on the Lucian. He does get a kill.
That was really well, nicely done by Mr. Lefkow.
Caitlyn, but to no avail. Expired comes in, he misses the ult but hits the Q, and then just pushes high into Caitlyn's auto attack range to help her get the double. So that was pretty much a really nice fight from Mystical Elf God and Siam, because they actually turned around that gank and pretty much screwed up the entire orchestration of that gank by getting Caitlyn a kill. Zyra and Lucian were dead before the fighting even started, and Bradley had to struggle to kill the Leona, and then when he turned on the Caitlyn actually did more damage than him. So, and then the Hecarim just came in and you watched how Caitlyn got the double kill. So that was pretty much, this is pretty much a turning point. Like, as I've said, we like to see some really intense back and forths, and that was just an example of what I was talking about. These teams, both of them, are not pushovers, and if any of them makes it, and if each of them makes a mistake, the other is going to capitalize on that instantaneously. So that's what I would like to watch in semi-final matches. Competitive, really close, and not one-sided at all. Because it's more fun for us commentators to comment on it, and also more fun for the viewers to watch it. Because let's face it, everyone likes intense matches than the stomps, other than the team who is stomping, of course. Now, Lucian is actually stuck in a really precarious position. Caitlyn easily picks that kill up. That was just textbook play from Leona. Caitlyn, just Leona catching out the ADC out of position, and Invincible really needs to take care of his positioning in bot lane. Caitlyn is getting really fed.
But look at Bidical Dirt. Look at his item. First thing he bought is armor, Sunfire Cape against the Cassadin, laning up against.
Well, I guess he
I
wants
mean,
the damage.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the thing. I was wondering at first what first item he would go.
Well, he did go for the Sunfire King for the HP and the damage. Like, he wants to keep this lane pushed, as he's seeing that the jungler pretty much left him alone in his lane, the enemy jungler. So he's like, why not? Let's push the lane to his tower, make him miss a lot of CS on the tower, because Cassadin's farming potential under the tower damage is pretty much low. So that's how he is eventually forcing the Cassadin to miss a lot of CS, and he has gained a 32 gold lead.
He should freeze the lane.
If Volibear shouldn't actually freeze the lane, when he is pushing the tower, pushing to the tower, Cassadin is actually having a lot of problems dealing with it. But I guess he should, instead of going for the Sunfire Cape, he should have gone for a magic resist item, so that Cassadin's damage was pretty much non-existent against him, and he could have just bullied Cassadin even more. Like, even a Hex Drinker in this scenario would have been good. He goes all in, ham.
Oh!
That was amazing from Bidical Dirt. Meanwhile, in mid lane, Expired going for Talon, but a last minute ult from Vi saves him. That was pretty nice from King Bradley to save his teammate, and especially after a solid play from Bidical Dirt, like anticipating when Cassadin is gonna last hit with his Q, going in at the exact moment. That was nicely calculated by him. Now, Caitlyn has garnered a 120 CS lead over Lucian, because Caitlyn is pretty much dominating this lane, and Lucian has died a lot 3 times in fact. But this advantage could not. I guess this advantage could have been a little bit less if they didn't kill the Lucian while he was DC. But I guess mistakes do happen, so there's nothing that can be done about this.
Talon should have ganked bot and helped his teammate.
Yeah, he should use the power spike that he gained from mid lane. Now, this is one of the things that I really that I really tell new players who are going into ranked or team play to take note of. When you win a lane, you have to share that power with the other laners, because when you monopolize all the power that you gain from winning the lane and dominating your opponent, you're actually denying your team a lot of power. So when you see that your laners are struggling against their matchups, you have to use your abilities, which are empowered because of you winning the lane, to help them regain the balance that they've lost, to tip the scales in your favor, so that the power level is equally distributed amongst the team, and you can be able to salvage the lane that is lost. But I guess it's too late now, because the Caitlyn is 5-0 already with an Infinity Edge under her item inventory. So it's pretty much suicidal if he goes into gank, because Leona can just stun him up and Caitlyn can just auto attack from far away. And it's gonna take Vi and Talon's intervention to save the bot lane in its current condition. And I guess that's what they should be doing instead of farming down the mid lane and the jungle. Now, meanwhile, in top lane, we do see Hecarim ganking, but BD kill Dart isn't gonna take that from him. He turns around and fights both of them. This is actually a spectacular scene. He can actually kill Hecarim. He goes in, fights the Hecarim,
Oh my god.
kills him. He takes the rep off, and almost killed the Kassadin, and he has to walk away. This is why you need to plan your attack before ganking a Volibear against a Kassadin, because the Kassadin actually doesn't have a lot of damage to hurt Volibear, and a Hecarim only has his long-range initiation, which is the CC, which only works if your teammate has a lot of damage. So that pretty much helped him go in and secure that kill. That was actually pretty ballsy stuff from Dart, but he knew what he was doing, and thus came out winning in that scenario. Now, it's pretty much another one of those games where there's just nothing between the teams, even though bot lane has been snowballing pretty hard for Godlike Gaming.
Can't say anything yet. I mean, until we see
Yeah,
fights.
even though bot lane has been snowballing, it's still anyone's game, because both these teams are actually really proficient in coming back from advantage. They try to steal away the dragon, but Bradley's having none of it, and he does get killed in the process. And now they are chasing Talon. Talon's in a bit of trouble, uses the W to get away, but I guess the combined damage from Caitlyn's ult and the Kassadin ult is indeed going to kill him. So that's pretty much one of those comeback moments for not actually a comeback. That's one of the back and forth, because even though they're behind by 2.4k, 2.5k, their ADC is actually really fed, and this is pretty much an equal game. God goes in! Let's choose the Caitlyn. He does a great ult to save Caitlyn, and Biggie Kill Dodge isn't going to be taken down, even with the onslaught of damage that has been laid onto him. This guy is tanky as hell. It's going to take a lot of focus fire to kill BD Kill Dart. He's going to be a really huge nuisance for Caitlyn to deal with when his flash is up. Otherwise, he's not that much harmful against the Caitlyn because she can just net away. But still, when BD Kill Dot has flash up, it's gonna spell bad news. It's gonna spell bad news for Caitlyn because if he flips him and Talon jumps her, it's good for Caitlyn. So, as I said, even if Caitlyn has a huge advantage in bot lane, it's still too early and still not too early actually. It's still up in the balance. This match is up in the air. Even the team who actually outplays the other will win it. And this is actually going pretty well. Not one-sided at all as I wanted. So I'm happy. I guess the viewers are happy as well. So yeah. Cassidy just security double kill. Sorry, I missed that because I was fixing my microphone, and I missed that. Really sorry about that. That was pretty much a really nice spectacle that I just watched in front of my eyes. I guess you watched it as well, so I really don't think I need commentary on needed to do commentary on that. But still sorry for not being able to do it because I was fixing my microphone. Now I really need to switch to directed camera because apparently I also missed Invincible going really low in bot lane because of the combined damage from Leona and Caitlyn. So sorry about these two interruptions. So still pretty much equal. The deciding goal between the two teams is 1.3k, mainly because of the two towers that Purple Team has. But Caitlyn's power spike that she has obtained is pretty much keeping them in this game. Now, Expired is building towards the Sunfire Cape, which I really don't know why he's building a Sunfire Cape, because a Sunfire Cape is something for lane, it's not for junglers. It should be built for top laners, it should be built for only top laners. It shouldn't be built for junglers. He should have just gone for a Randuin's Omen or a Spirit Visage. Okay, no, he shouldn't have gone for Spirit Visage because it's all AD on the opponent team. He should have just gone for a Randuin's Omen then. The Sunfire Cape is taking too long to finish. It's already 23 minutes, and the Sunfire Cape hasn't even come out yet. So I guess it's a good item when you snowball, but it's not a good item when you're behind. And he is behind at this point compared to Vi, because he might be level 12 and Vi might be level 11. But still, Vi doesn't even have more CS, but still, Vi can actually do more than Hecarim at this point with the amount of items she has. Because Hecarim's the only thing Hecarim can do is just AoE Fear, and that doesn't even last long, while Vi has a lockdown ult with a lot of damage on her base stats. So this is pretty much an evenly balanced match. Talon clearing the wave out with his W, forcing them to cancel the siege that they were planning to do. Meanwhile, Dart in the top lane is farming peacefully, so as to speak, like he always does. He doesn't join team fights that often. He always split pushes in top lane and then pretty much forces other players to chase him down while his team secures objectives. So that playstyle has pretty much worked out for them in the past, and I think it's going to work out for them right now as well.
45 seconds left till the dragon respawns. Godlike Gaming, I guess, was going for the mid turret so that they can secure the dragon easily. But no, they couldn't do that. Now, I guess they're preparing for a dragon.
Well, the dragon dance is gonna commence in 20 seconds when it respawns. Both teams, I guess, Purple Team doesn't have the timer for dragon because they are actually not converging on the position, not that much, but seems like when blue team actually passed through their wards in their jungle entrances, in the blue team's jungle entrances, they actually figured out that they want to do dragon. We should go and force a fight. But now they don't have vision on dragon at this point, and blue team have already started out dragon. It's already half HP. Yeah, things, but the whole team is now here. Wukong goes in. Luna ult. Cassidy goes by ulti. Cassidy, I don't know where he ulted. I guess he wanted to hook on the Talon. Talon going really, really low. Wukong has to back off because he got low. Meanwhile, he's doing 3 damage from the back. Wukong is going to die from the damage from being killed up, resulting in a double kill for him. Dodge goes in with his ult. Lucian still kicking and running. King Bradley is still a bit low. BD kill dodge goes in for Caitlyn, forced to bash Mystical Elf God, and BD kill dodge still wants blood. He's still going in for the Caitlyn, gets netted, and that's pretty much curtains for him. He's not going to be able to chase him down. But why is Cassidy over there? He would have died if he didn't have Riftwalk there. That was pretty careless from him, staying around, forcing a last-minute Riftwalk by Lucian. So that was actually really topsy-turvy fight, I guess, with players from both teams dying left, right, and center. The ultimate winner is going to be Matt Thrashers, as they're going to come out with a dragon. If Godlike Gaming can't really respond in time, Cassidy is looking for the dragon. Has been secured. James Bradley goes down from the flash, and the Cassidy misses the E, but the Iceborne Gauntlet slow is actually enough. Rolling them down. Caitlyn gets obliterated by Talon. He's in the end is gonna get off the dragon himself as well. Good root from Zyra to stop 3 of them in their tracks and save the Volibear. But still, Matt Thrashers lost 3 members of their team
in exchange
from that dragon fight. So that actually, I guess it wasn't that much worth as they thought. Now look at the gold difference. Matt Thrashers actually hold a 2.8k gold lead despite being down by 6 kills because of the amount of dragons they've secured and the 1 extra turret they have on Godlike Gaming. So we're back to the farming phase of the game again, the most boring phase where nobody wants to talk about what they're doing. So I'm going to talk about the items. Now, as you can see, Cassidy has itemized for armor. Like, he wants to stack armor so that he doesn't run out when the apocalypse hits. He has built a Frozen Heart and a Iceborne Gauntlet, both items resulting from a Glacial Shroud. I guess he wants to stack up with the armor because he does realize the enemy team is full AD, barring Zyra, who does minimal magic damage in the late game. So it's pretty good itemization from him, and it is working out as he is 415. But don't discard Jarv. His counterpart at the top lane, he has built up a serious amount of tank items, and he is beefy, and he can't be killed because in the fights he pretty much went in all ham, going all in with no escapes planned whatsoever, and still he has able to come out alive because he is so goddamn tanky. Can actually, really pretty much go in and zone out the ADC. I'm just pausing between my comments because of your channel was edited between my commentary, so apologies for that. And right now what they're doing is they're trying to steal away their blue buff, which they will do successfully. Now, they are going in for a fight. Siam is a bit out of position, but Dart, if he flips up the Wukong, it's not going to be that much of a big deal. Now, Zyra lands an ult. It knocks up only Leona. There is a fight going down in the mid, and it's pretty haphazard what's going on. Talon uses the ult. Everyone uses their ult. And Godlike Gaming, they're dangerously low right now. Matt Thrashers pretty much dominated that fight with the even though Godlike Gaming timed their ult so perfectly well, but they were just short of killing 3 members of the enemy team, like really close to killing them, but they actually survived in the end. So Thrashers, even though they're down by 6 kills, are still dominating the fight because of the gold lead that they've garnered. Things going down to back off from there. Kassadin is trying to complete his Archangel Staff. Meanwhile, Caitlyn has completed her Infinity Edge, Static Shiv, and Last Whisper, so she's dealing a lot of damage, while Lucian isn't that much behind either. He only is 1 item behind. He has a Buff Thirster and a Last Whisper. Despite being 4-0-4-5, he is doing a lot of damage and a lot of things in the team fights, while Caitlyn is being zoned out by the Vi and the Talon and the Volibear. So this is pretty much what I was talking about. Like, if the support and the peelers are busy peeling off the Vi and the Volibear, Talon can just easily go in and wreak havoc on Caitlyn. So that's pretty much it. That's what they're doing. The Volibear and the Vi are such nuisances right now that they're completely discarding Talon from the fact that he can actually deal a lot of damage because he has a Hydra, a Black Sleeper, and a Last Whisper. He can just instantly delete Caitlyn from the map using a full combo. And they have to be careful about that because if Talon jumps in, that's pretty much easy for Caitlyn. And Caitlyn and Kassadin are pretty much the instruments that who Godlike Gaming have to use to get back into this game. Because they are the only team members who actually stand a chance in winning them this match. Now, we do see Count Zelnaga being caught. Nice flash from him, and a really nice binding and nice root and a ult from him to turn that fight around and actually getting Bicky really low. That was actually mad skill from him. So that turned that fight around before it even happened. So I guess Match Crashers want to force a Baron, seeing Caitlyn at bot lane. They do know they are in the bush. The pings have went down, but they still don't want to engage. I guess they want them to recall so that they can do a Baron. Baron is ticking down really quickly. Zyra is going outside of the Baron pit because he doesn't want to get insta-bursted. Meanwhile, Vi charges the Q, scaring them away. Vi is trying to scare away the Hecarim and the Cassandra. There's a pause. Forbidden actually. Pause.
A summoner has reconnected.
And he has reconnected. My voice sounds weird on stream.
I guess it's okay now. Who said that?
Who? What?
কে মানে তোর ভয়েসের কথা কে বললো?
ভয়েস আমি বলছি। ভয়েস কেমন জানি আজব শোনাচ্ছে স্ট্রিমের মধ্যে। আমি কেটে কেটে যাচ্ছিলাম। মনে হচ্ছে it's like I'm gurgling water and talking at the same time.
এখন ঠিক আছে?
আমি বলতে পারতেছি না। আমি এখন কথা বলতে থাকি। তারপর একটু পরে স্ক্রিনটা চেক করব না। The game has resumed and we are back into this match. They canceled their Baron attempt, realizing that Talon and Zyra are too low to fight when a blue team come back all rejuvenated and with full HP. They are going to lose the Baron fight, so they wisely back off from that decision. Now, what each team should do is actually do these objective dances that they've been doing, because in the end it all comes down to objectives again, over and over again. This game is all about the objective control, the gold lead that you can gain from controlling these objectives and not actually killing people. Now Expired has actually DC'd, so we are going to have another pause. I'm really sick of all these internet problems that has been plaguing our players recently. It's actually really annoying for the viewers and for us and the players who are playing as well. Such pauses. Sorry to all those watching us on YouTube. It's okay, Dar. Just keep on carrying like you have been, and we'll forgive you. Forgive all these pauses. Like, I'm really impressed by BD Kildar's performance in this game, and Mystical Elf God as well. Although his advantage was gained from a DC Lucian, but still, it doesn't matter. He has shown good positioning while in team fights. So, props to him for snowballing so much in this game. And I'm not gonna even forget about Kassadin, because Kassadin, even though he faced a hard lane, has come back into this game 5-1-6, and he is a menace right now, even with because of his armor items. Now, when he finishes an Archangel staff, he's gonna like skyrocket his AP to a lot, because these Archangel staff actually converts mana into AP. So yeah. Now, it's again that phase where everyone just keeps farming the jungle, the lanes, pushing them out. That's pretty much what's been happening. I guess even now, one thing I've noticed in this match is even though Godlike Gaming time and plan their ult successfully, you don't really aim them on the targets that need to be changed, like Lucian or Talon. And Volibear being so tanky, even if you focus fire everything on him, he's not gonna die. And if you focus fire everything on Volibear, the Talon, Vi, and Lucian are gonna run rampant and just try to hold to your team. But if you let the Volibear get up close and personal to your squishies, then he's gonna wreak havoc there as well. You're gonna have a hard time facing bombardment from every direction. So what they should do right now, Godlike Gaming, is focus on catching out the Lucian or the Zyra or the Talon for that matter, and then just insta-bursting them. And then forcing a 4v5 or forcing a fight under tower. That's what they can do as well. Or do a Baron dance and then bait them in.
Connected. Channel switched. Channel switched. Sound muted. User was moved to your channel.
Sorry, we had to change our TeamSpeak server because it was lagging due to the server.
Yeah, we actually were like, the TeamSpeak was actually lagging, and that's why my voice sounded like I was gurgling water and talking at the same time. So yeah.
Meanwhile, the game is paused. Let me check some of the other
A
settings.
summoner has disconnected.
Channel edited.
People are getting DC'd left, right, and center. This is actually pretty much. This is actually pretty boring because pause times are never good for people.
Channel
It's always
edited.
boring.
A summoner has reconnected.
And the reconnect is here. Now I guess we are going to unpause the game. And I actually forgot to talk about Wukong's items because they are so bare bones. Only has a Randuin's and a Black Cleaver. That's that. I
Don't
guess that's
underestimate the
why.
power of Doran's blade late game.
Well, it's I have no idea. That's why they've been losing the fights because Wukong only has a Black Cleaver and Miranduins, and even if he knocks them up and ults them, the ult's not gonna be dealing that much damage because he doesn't have an AD item, he doesn't have a Last Whisper. It's 34 minutes into the game. He should have more items. That's why they've been losing these team fights. He needs more items. And now Kassadin has got his Archangel staff. He's gonna be firing on all barrels, like really, really hard, and it's gonna be tough to put him off that, pull him off of the Lucian. But still, Darth is gonna just go ham on the Caitlyn and just rape everyone. So if they can't stop Darth, they can't stop they can't stop Matt Thrashers. That's pretty much it. If they wanna win this game, they have to stop BD kill Darth. Otherwise, it's gonna go to hell for them. Things are going down for doing the Baron buff, but I guess they are not going to do Baron. They're going to do a Baron dance. Wards do get spot out. Vicky doesn't go into the small bush with his Oracle active and eventually misses the ward that is on there. So that's going to still keep providing vision for purple team if the blue team wants to do Baron or not. They are pinging wolves for some reason. Apparently some guy is calling dibs on wolves, like, don't take wolves, I need that for this item or that item. Now, purple team looks to siege the tower with their insane wave clearing ability, but the blue team doesn't have that modest wave clear either. They have a Caitlyn Q, they have Kassadin's E, they have Wukong Z as well. Like, look at that, the waves being instantly cleared as soon as it hits the tower. They should not focus on sieging, it's going to be a waste of time. They should actually do a Baron dance, purple team, because purple team actually hold an advantage in team fights. So when they Baron dance and lure the blue team into the Baron pit and go ham on them, turning back, it's going to be actually blue team losing out. So that's what they should do, I guess. They should just do a Baron bait, and then bait blue team in, and then kill them, and they are there.
I don't think the purple team, realize that they're up ahead in golds because they're pretty much 6 kills behind the blue
Yeah,
team.
that's why they are feeling a bit shaky, if
Yeah,
you will.
that's what
So
they're pretty much confused.
Yeah, now the people who are watching the stream are gonna be PMing their friends who are in the purple team, like, "Oi, fight kor tora bhai paisa tora ashole coldly de aage Baron bait kor dere ma."
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Yeah, so let's not do that for the sake of keeping this fair.
Pretty much 3.4k, literally 4k.
Yeah, 4K gold lead coming in. Now, this is an interesting scenario, actually. Both teams don't know what to do and they're just hanging around in mid lane. Like, what am I supposed to do, man?
Meanwhile, Dirt buys another armor. I don't know what he's building. Chain vest he bought. What do you think he might go for?
I guess he's building a Frozen Heart now.
Right?
Maybe Frozen Heart, because he must stack them resistances. He's gonna go for a Banshees and a Frozen Heart, I guess. All of his items are just tank items. He has 3.6k actually, and rough estimate 3.6k HP, 301 armor, and almost 200 magic resist. So he's gonna be pretty much unkillable in team fights, and I really don't know what they're gonna do against Dart, because Dart is gonna be pretty much rampaging throughout the entire team, and they're not gonna be able to do anything.
Meanwhile, Dragon is going to respawn at 1:30, 1 minute 30 seconds.
Yay! I guess we're gonna see some action at Dragon because this is getting really boring. Meanwhile, SkyBD goes in for the Zyra, forced to flash out to save himself. That was like a moment of action and which just fizzled out with the flash. Guys, I'm disappointed. Start fighting, come on. Okay, Kitchen auto attack actually dealt pretty decent damage to Dart there because it crit and hit him with a crit. So it did like 1,000 damage, which got mitigated to 300 because of the 301 armor that Dart has. So yeah. But if I want to see a crit headshot on Dart, see how much damage it deals to him. Even with 300 armor and 6k HP, it might just hurt a lot. Like, the headshot does a lot of damage, and when it crits, the damage roll goes up exponentially. So, I really want to see that. Clara tries to go into the root, spawns 2 plants, which get cleared out instantaneously. Now, Dart is just tankier than all of the team members. Like, Dart goes into the flash! Like,
Gatling is dead.
All the old and welcome blue team, but that minor attack by the initiation from Dart pretty much obliterated them, and only Talon dies from double team. Dart secures a triple kill, and they do pick up an ace, and they might be able to end this game. Okay, they might not be able to end, but they can get an hit. That was pretty damn insane from Dart. Caitlyn didn't even have time to use her flash. It happened all so quickly. Dart flipped him, and then Vi ulted him in and locked him down, while Talon also bursted him down. So Mystical Elf just got bursted down 100-0 in a matter of seconds before he could react. And that was pretty much it for blue team.
Has been destroyed.
And they have to like force it, and they might go in for a Baron, I guess, purple team. Seeing that they have gained an advantage, they might be able to do a quick Baron because of Vi's percentage HP damage. So yeah, things are going down. They are doing a Baron. Let's see what happens. The Baron is ticking down really, really hard, like fast, and they are doing it really fast. The smite goes down, and they have secured Baron buff. They have just cemented their lead so far right now.
Gold lead.
10.1k gold lead. Matt Thrashers, this wasn't a one-sided game. This was actually really, really competitive until Matt Thrashers threw that insane fight by that insane initiation by BD Kill Dart, and the tremendous follow-up from them. That was just coordinated pinpoint perfection, and Caitlyn got destroyed in the last fight. That's why they lost. And Kassadin can't even do anything if the frontliners are melting like jelly. And meanwhile, Dart, they can't just focus him down. He's so tanky and he deals so much damage. Oh, I'm mistaken. He didn't actually get a Frozen Heart. He got the Atmos Impaler, which gives him 55 bonus attack damage. So yeah, he did get an offensive item in the end, which also has defensive item stats attached to it. So
let's not
pretty much
also
shows his love for defensive items.
yeah, and let's not forget about Dirt's passive. Even if he's getting low, I mean, his health regeneration now with Baron, it's going to be huge.
Yeah, it's like I don't always get low, but when I do, I don't.
Well put. They're going for the top turret.
It's pretty much like this. Neymar carries Brazil, Messi carries Argentina, Dart carries Matt Thrashers. No disrespect to BD Kill, no disrespect to King Badley and the others, but Dart is pretty much the MVP of this match. All the other teams from... And there he goes again, doing an initiation for his team when the others are not just up to the task. He stepped up and pretty much broke the stalemate that was happening for the past 5 minutes and just went YOLO, like roll this shit to hell, I'm going in.
Dirt can literally third dive this team right now.
Yeah,
with tankiness of 5.
Everything for 10 minutes and then get back out with more than 50% HP. That's how tanky he is, and coupled with the insane health regeneration from Baron buff and his health items, And Spirit Missile, of course, he isn't going down anytime soon unless blue team can find a nuclear missile to bomb him with. He's not gonna die. And meanwhile, blue team are actually in trouble because their base is being focused down by super minions, and they only leave 3 people to defend the top tower, and this is going to be the top tower for purple team. Meanwhile, Fiona tries to ult, but the ult doesn't come into any fruition because it only ends up pulling by. Cassidy goes in, does good damage, but King Bradley goes in, bam! Oh. And then Vicky, although he landed a invincible, he decides to back out. Then he goes back in now. Caitlyn does a double kill. Dart is pretty much stuck, taking up a lot of the damage. Still continues to fight 1v3 and we are losing the fight. That was not a good initiation from the purple team. And they paid the price for it. Now, even though they so dominantly won that fight in mid lane, they just looked in shambles in this bottom lane fight. Like, they were the ones losing in the first place. This was not expected at all, and I guess
they had the Baron buff. Look at like the purple team.
Yeah, they had Baron buff.
They took too much damage from the turret, I guess.
Yeah, King Bradley actually went in at a wrong time. I guess King Bradley should just leave the initiations up to God.
Even though purple team lost the fight, they still up ahead in pretty much 8k gold, 8.5k
Yeah,
gold.
actually,
So
well, they still have an 8.3k gold and now 7.2k gold lead, but in that fight, actually, BD killed Darth. Actually, couldn't really initiate, so he was in the back, but King Bradley just went in all ham and got focus fired by them because he's not as tanky as Darth. He only has a Randuin's Omen and the Spirit Visage.
And also look at this. The thing at the first of the starting of the match, I told you about Talon. Talon's late game damage. He can't do anything. That I mean, right now. Did you see? It's like 479 for him right now.
Well, it's just that. That's what I said. If the enemy, the enemy support or the enemy peeler isn't busy with Dart or Bradley, then Talon doesn't even have a chance of going close to Caitlyn. Like in that fight, you saw Volibear flipping in Caitlyn, Vi locking him down, and then Talon going in and bursting him down like really quickly. That was when all the attention of blue team was focused on BD kill Dart. So when they focused Dart, they pretty much didn't really account for the Talon coming in, so Talon really had really a safe passage to go in and do a lot of damage. But in that fight, when Vi actually got killed and Darth wasn't going anywhere, Talon was actually really far in, really too deep into the base. So that's why they actually lost the fight. Talon got caught out, he got killed. As I said, if the support's attention isn't focused away from Talon, he's not going to be able to do anything because it's really easy to peel off a Talon.
We have Dragon and Baron timer. Baron is going to respawn in 1 minute 15 seconds and Dragon in 50 seconds.
Yes.
So let's see if this starts any fight and changes the game or not.
Yeah, well, it was really sad watching BD kill Darth die even after I said they're gonna need a nuclear bomb to kill him. I guess they don't need a nuclear bomb to kill him, they just need his teammates to derp. That's all. Now both teams are really careful with their playing. They are calculating everything before going in, ham all like that. Purple team even more. I guess purple team had a boost of confidence after winning that mid lane fight, which pretty much shifted into overconfidence for them when they went in for that insane dive. Now Darth is going in against last Q's Caitlyn, but there's no follow-up, but he is still zoning out. Mystical Elf God kills him all by himself. Meanwhile, Vicky's clone gets ulted by Sky BD kills Talon, but BD kill God is still causing havoc in the enemy team. Meanwhile, Lucian is still doing serious amounts of damage in the back, and they do ace them, and that is why I said they should leave the initiations up to BD kill God, because his initiations were spot on, and BD kill God pretty much carried his team to victory by making those insane initiations where no one was willing to initiate, and Bradley was going in at random times for no reason at all. So
He doesn't care even if both turrets are, like onto him.
yeah, it's so damn tanky. His passive was ticking down, and it was as if he wasn't taking any damage from the tower.
That's
So
the end of
props to
game 1.
Godlike for carrying his team to victory. That was actually a really nice game. Not one-sided at all, just pure team fighting mechanics, and of course, BD kill plat mechanics.
I'm a fan now.
Yeah, actually, BD Kill Dot has gathered a lot of fans after this match because of his insane skill play with Volibear.
So yeah, we have to tune in for the next match. So that was a really nice game.
Yeah, my blood's still pumping from that last team fight. Like that was so intense. How BD Kill Dot just went in, and the team fight looked to be lost when Wukong was actually trying to kill the Lucian. But then just something just happened, and well, that's it
Yeah,
actually.
look at it. I'm just reading a YouTube comment, and it says flipping bitches since 2K14.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Good one.
it. And I guess Volibear is getting banned in, in the next game. I'm pretty much sure Volibear will get banned in the next
Trick to
game.
Chi would
There's
have been
no
proud.
doubt about
So yeah, just wait a couple of minutes until we start match 2.
it.
I
Yeah,
guess
I'm just gonna go for a break because that match was so intense. My throat is actually dry.
yeah.
So
So
yeah,
we're gonna play some music and
come back to you with the second game of the first semifinal of the LoL-BD Summer Championship. Stay tuned.
Wake up. Hey, wake up. Hey, wake up. Microphone activated.
Alright. The stream up. Okay, so this is game 2 of the semifinals of the LoL-BD Summer Championship. Godlike Gaming versus Matt Thrashers. Now, Matt Thrashers are blue team, while Godlike Gaming is the purple team. So, the only change from the last match is that Payne is going to be playing instead of who in this match?
BD Dirt.
Wow, they're actually benching BD Dark. Now this is gonna be interesting. I guess they have some policy, like BD Dark plays one game and his little brother plays another game. So let's just talk about the bans that have been gone down so far. Syndra Jax Blitzcrank, just like last time. And the bans from purple team are Yasuo, Zyra, and Vi. Vi was really annoying in the last game, and also Zyra, so they pretty much learned their lesson and banned out Vi for King Bradley, but that pretty much prompted King Bradley to pick up his Wukong, which is also a strong pick in the jungle. Now, Sion picks up Braum. He is a very, very strong support in the meta, recently released and recently nerfed as well, but still remaining strong even after the nerf that he has received. And we have Mystical Elf God on Twitch. Now, Twitch is a really safe ADC because of his long range that he gets from his ultimate and the invisible, but if he gets caught out, it's not that much safe. So, in lane, he's a lane bully. That's pretty much it. But if he gets caught in team fights, it's going to be tricky for him, unless he can time his invisible really well, or positions himself really well. So let's see about what he can do with Twitch now. Now, Count Zelnaga gets Leona, one of his mains, and Invincible goes for the Lucian again, which brought him huge success. Even though he failed in lane, he was able to catch up in items and pretty much deal a lot of damage in the late game. Now, it's time for Expire to pick, and he just insta-locks Jin Zhao. Now, I have an idea why he didn't pick Hecarim at first. It's because he realized that once he gets behind, Hecarim is actually not that good of a jungler. So, that's why I guess he picked the Jin Zhao, but he could have just picked Jarvan as well. Like, Jarvan and Braum combo is pretty damn nice. Jarvan can EQ them, or Braum can just ult initiate while they are held in place. Jarvan can just EQ Flat Toss for a double knockup combo, and Vicky goes in for a Trundle pick. Now, Trundle is a really duelist type top laner. Like, he can duel anyone, and when I say anyone, I mean anyone at level 6. Like, he could lay down his W, and then his Frozen Kingdom, and then use Subjugate to leech off the armor and the health and the magic resist from the target, and then also steal away the AD and pretty much dominate the trades. And we do have King Bradley crashing out of the client like a ball of fire, and they are forced to quit the match. Now, they are going to re-invite him, I guess, and then we're gonna get started again.
Hey, wake up.
I don't know what's wrong.
I guess King Bradley dropped out of the client.
Okay.
Yeah, Payne just confirmed with us that he is indeed reconnecting. Still waiting for Bradley to reconnect. Sorry about this disruption. I'll be right back. And I'm back, and we are going to get this match underway in just a bit. When I guess Simon's gonna come back from the loo. So, okay, they are ready. Simon is back. They're gonna rearrange the teams and start again. Same picks and same bands on up until the point when Bradley DC'd. So we're just gonna wait. There we have it. As expected, the bands will be the same. Picks will be the same as well.
Channel switched. Alright, so the picks that are new are Vladimir for Pain and Kassadin for Forbidden Requiem. Now Kassadin is I've already talked about Kassadin in the first match. Kassadin is pretty strong with mana items and tankiness, and he's pretty much a AP bruiser who can deal a lot of damage in the late game. Painmir's Vladimir needs no explanation as it is one of his main champions, and Vladimir is just a really strong champion in the late game due to his damage that he can deal and the damage amplification that he offers his team. Now, he is also a very safe laner because of his heals that he gets for his Q and the amount of spell ramp that he builds, so he's a very sustained laner. And we do see Ari being picked for Sky VD, so that's a good pick against Kassadin, I guess. She can match his mobility after level 6, but not his constant mobility, but when her ult is off of cooldown, she can match his mobility and then some, because Kassadin's mobility has more short-term cooldown, while Ari's cooldown is more long-term. So, in an all-in fight, Kassadin is going to lose, but throughout the game, when Ari's ult is on cooldown, Kassadin's going to have an upper hand. So it's going to be interesting to see how that matchup goes. It's going to depend on the skill level of the players and both taking note of each other's cooldowns and then acting accordingly. In the blue team, we do see a very AoE-centric composition, like Count Zilnaga has an AoE ultimate, King Bradley is AoE, and Pain just amplifies all AoE damage. Meanwhile, in the purple team, the AoE that we see is from Twitch, Braum, Xin Zhao, and Ari as well, but their AoE is more indirect AoE, and it's gonna require a lot of communication and a lot of control over their actions to actually dictate the team fight in their favor, because if they want to control the team fight, they must go in at the proper times, initiate well, and be the first ones to initiate. If Braum isn't the one to initiate the first, then the blue team is going to wreak havoc because their initiation power is insanely strong.
What do you think about the Wukong jungle against? I mean, there's this Xin Zhao jungle too. So
Well, there is a Xin Zhao jungle with Ghost, and there's a Wukong jungle. So, in a straight 1v1, Wukong loses because it's a Xin Zhao, and even Lee Sin has problems dealing with Xin Zhao. Even Lee Sin can't duel with a Xin Zhao because of the insane dueling potential that he has. So, in a 2v2 in top lane, I expect the team with the Xin Zhao to win, but Wukong is still a really strong champion because he has his invisible, which allows Shaco-esque ganks, like I have said in the first match in the champion select. So it'll be depending on how much ganking each does over the other. If Xin Zhao just farms the jungle all day long, then he is wasting a lot of ganking opportunities. And it just comes down to who is the more efficient jungler, who is more efficient at farming, who's more efficient at ganking, and it'll be decided in the late game. Now, Wukong actually is a really good champion to have in late game, while Xin Zhao is not that much of a strong contender for late game OP-ness. So this will be really interesting as to how each team covers up their weaknesses. Like Pain has a weakness from the early game that he's not going to be able to do much for them, while Trundle, Xin Zhao, Ari, all of them have strong early games. So yeah, I'm hoping for another intense match like the last one. It's a shame BD Kill Dart isn't playing in this one. Darth pretty much was an MVP of the last game, I should say. So yeah, let's see what happens in this game. Now we're gonna go into the loading screen. The delay period is over. Let's have another good game, guys. Good luck to both teams. This is going to be the second game of the first semifinal of LoL-BD Summer Championship. Thrashers are already 1-up against Godlike Gaming. So if they win this one, they are through to the finals. But if they lose, this game is going to go into a tiebreaker for the third game. And that's going to decide who's going to go into the finals. Honestly, I'm hoping for a tiebreaker because it's always good to see these back and forths, and I want to see back and forths in terms of number of games won as well. I don't want to see a back and forth in two matches where still the victor is the same. The tiebreaker would be interesting to have, but we don't always get what we want, so let's see what happens.
The bot lane matchup is going to be interesting. Braum with Twitch.
Yeah.
And Lucian's ult. Braum can literally reduce huge damage with his shield.
Yeah, his shield is pretty much going to be instrumental in helping Twitch win his lane against Lucian. The shield actually blocks the ultimate shots, but Braum actually negates the first any spell that he gets hit by when he turns up his shield. Like if it's a non-projectile like a Kha'Zix Q, he's not gonna take damage from that as well. So it pretty much eats up one targeted ability or one projectile. Even a Trundle Q can be blocked out completely by Braum when he turns up his shield. Even a Jinx ultimate coming in will be pretty much absorbed by the shield, like Yasuo's shield. But then, if say Jinx auto attacks Braum the moment he raises his shield and then ults, then that's gonna go in and penetrate the shield and then damage Braum. So that's pretty much it. So we have Pain AFK. I guess he's gone to the loo as well. He couldn't hold it any longer, so he had to run. And he is back, so he unpaused the game himself. So yeah, that pause time was short, thank God. And now we aren't seeing any early aggression from both the teams. They're trying to play it safe, just scouting out ahead, scouting out the enemy positions, seeing if they're safe or not. I guess both of them are safe because purple team doesn't look to invade.
30 seconds until
In
minions
the
spawn.
opening moments of the game, they want to start the blue buff. Blue team wants to start out the red buff. Pretty standard start for the junglers in this game.
Wukong starting with red.
Yeah, Wukong's starting with red because it's the closest buff to the bot lane. And when you're a jungler, you should always start the closest buff to the closest to the bot lane, because they can give you an even better leash than the top laners can without missing much XP or gold. So that's why I think starting the buff closest to bot lane is the best choice for junglers right now. Or you can just go for the blue buff if you're a blue buff intensive champion, like Ekrim or Udyr, who need blue buff for their initial clears. So it kind of just depends on the jungler and what he wants at that moment. So yeah. Both junglers taking away their blue buffs and their beginning buffs. Both mid laners farming safely in mid lane. Forbidden Requiem playing Kassadin while SkyVD's on Ahri. In top lane we have Painmare on Painmare is not Painmare anymore, he's Pain. Pain is on Vladimir while Vicky is on Trundle. The bot lane you can see the champions. Witch, Mystical Elf God versus Siam on with Siam on Braum versus Council Naga on Leona, and Lucian, which is being played by Invincible. Early aggression coming out from Pain, auto-attacking and queuing Trundle, getting him to almost half HP, and pretty much cementing early signs that he's going to be able to shove Trundle off the lane just by poking, but he shouldn't really do that much because Trundle actually has a lot of sustain because of his passive, which gives him health back based on the HP of the units which die around him. Like, if Baron dies near him, it's gonna restore a huge chunk of his HP. So yeah. Forbidden Requiem meanwhile getting charmed by Ahri, but not much effect. It's still a tame charm in the early game. But if it was level 6, he would have died, so yeah. Meanwhile, Braum is marching in, misses the Q on Lucian, but Council Naga tries to go in for the Twitch, decides to go on the Braum. The Invincible procs the passive from Leona, and that was just some light harassment coming in from Braum, I guess.
Expired up top for gang.
He wants to do a lane gank, but you want to do a lane gank against a Vladimir, it's not that easy. Like, he can use his pool to go away really quickly, and a champion like Xin Zhao, who doesn't even have that much that hard CC, he has to auto attack twice. And now Wukong is coming in, he's gonna get spotted by Expired, and there's not gonna be any fights going on. Expired should have just stayed in the bush, waited for King Bradley to gank, but I guess he didn't have any way of knowing that King Bradley was coming, so I wanted them to fight. I really wanted an early first blood up at top lane. So that's just me. Because that's not what's gonna happen. Vladimir continuing to lay down the pain on Vicky. He is a little bit below half HP right now, having problems farming. Having no problems farming. He is up by 2 CS compared to Vladimir. I guess because Vladimir has been focusing on harassing so much. Now 3 stacks of Braum passive do go down on Leona, but I guess they don't want to stun him. They do stun him. Siam takes up a lot of damage from Leona and Lucian falling below half HP. But that's not gonna go into anything. because he's gonna regen them with his pots really easily. Meanwhile, we do see Pain still laying down the pain, if you will, on Trundle. Still no signs of early ham aggression coming in from any of the teams so far. They really want to play it safe based on last game, which went really back and forth. So they're pretty much scared to go in all ham or do something in particular, which is, you know, really ballsy. But we do see a bot lane fight going in. It's really ham. They are going into the Leona. Both supports get taken down extremely low. Oh my god, the amount of damage, burst damage that was procced onto Invincible, that was all of a sudden just a huge chunk of damage just came in, and he was forced to use the heal to survive.
Lucian is also out of mana.
Yeah, that's gonna be bad news for him, because as an ADC who solely relies on his spells for doing damage, well, his auto attacks deal damage, of course, but in the early game, most of his damage output comes from his spells. So yeah. Now King Bradley looks to do a lane gank in bot lane. Leona missing the Zenith Blade, but Siam does engage. Siam might have to flash out of this. He does flash out of this. There is no ignite. There was an exhaust ticking down on him, and he lives. Good job by King Bradley doing a lane gank in, baiting in, and Council Naga baiting in Siam by missing the Zenith Blade unintentionally, of course, but Siam thought that it was a good time to engage, so that's what got him wasting his flash. This is pretty much boring, and I'm already yawning, as you can see, from sleep deprivation. Now, I really need to see some action.
Look at this, the CS difference in meat. SkyVD is only 27 CS, where Puerto Rico has 60 CS.
Yeah, I guess it takes some special kind of talent to gain that much CS lead over an Ahri using Kassadin, because it's so frustrating to CS with Kassadin, but not much so nowadays, I guess, because of the increased damage on his W that stays even if you don't have W active, because W isn't an active anymore. It's an auto attack reset which deals bonus damage. So yeah, but still, it's still on melee auto attacks, which are really stupid. Like, Kassadin's melee attacks are so dumb to last hit with, but still, he has garnered a 36 CS lead over Ahri, which is pretty much commendable.
Look at the goal lead, they haven't done anything significant, but the goal lead is already 1k.
Yeah, I guess that's culminating from that sole CS lead, I guess. It's 900 gold already. Jinja wanted a gank bot, but Leona had other plans. He stunned Braum, and then Lucian just safely backed off. Forbidden Requiem has actually done a really good job of farming his lane. 77 CS to 39. That's pretty impressive. Now, Xin coming in for a gank on Kassadin. It's not going to be of any use ganking a Kassadin over Xin Zhao, because once he uses his E, Kassadin is just going to rip walk away. And unless Ahri can get a charm in before Xin Zhao goes in, there is no chance that they're catching out the Kassadin. Not while he has flash. Both junglers taking away their secondary buffs that have spawned. All lanes farming peacefully. Forbidden Requiem more so than others. He does get charm, but after the end of his Riftwalk animation, so retaliation from, the incoming damage from Ahri after the initial charm did hit was minimized. Still pretty much even. Meanwhile, Forbidden Requiem did go really aggressive on Ahri, getting her really low, but she's not gonna die from the ignite ticking because he didn't get to deal the last tick of damage because of the flash from Ahri. That was actually really close, and that pretty much came out of the CS lead, I guess. And if Kassadin backs off now, he has like 1,300 gold stored up in his inventory. He's gonna come back really powerful. into lane. Ari has picked up a
Blandish
Fiendish
Codex.
he has picked up a Fiendish Codex, while Twitch has picked up a Bilgewater Cutlass. Vladimir has gone for a Hextech Revolver, while Lucian has a BF sword, a best friend sword. And that's pretty much it, actually. Now here comes a gank on bot lane. That combo pretty much obliterated Mystical Elf God, and there comes first blood in the early game. That was a nice gank by King Bradley, anticipating the ward running out directly at that time. Leona ulted the ADC Twitch, and then King Bradley just came in, CC locking him down and just laying on tons of damage on him, instantly killing him. Meanwhile, you see purple team's bot tower actually taken really low, while look at blue team's top bot tower, it hasn't even been touched. It's on full HP. Meanwhile, in top lane, Painmare survives with so little HP against the Trundle. That was actually really nice skill play from him. Now in top lane, we do see Forbidden Requiem doing much more damage than Ari in this lane because he has more CS and he has a lane advantage. 55 coming in right now. I really haven't seen any Ari players having this much trouble CSing against a Kassadin. This is pretty weird, I guess. Or maybe the new Kassadin is really strong. Either way, Kassadin is getting banned against either of these two teams because I really don't like this champion. And there are some back and forth going on between the two teams. They want to do Dragon, but they don't want to risk getting caught out and killed. So I guess they're gonna scrap that plan for now and continue back to farming and formulating ganks where they can make those happen. All Kassadin is doing in the mid lane is just throwing out Qs at Ari, and it's just absorbing a lot of the return damage that Ari's trying to dish out to him. So yeah, Kassadin is a really strong anti-mage champion still, even though his silence was removed. King Bradley coming in for another gank at bot lane, but realizing the fact that they pushed out the lane, he decides to back off, but no, he actually doesn't back off. He actually moves into the forward bush, but they do not know if Leona actually engages on the Twitch. This could mean GG for Mystical Elf God. They should be careful not to go in now because the lane's going to be pushing. So I guess that plan's scrapped. Or might they go in for a tower dive? Yes, they will go in for a tower dive. Simon anticipates that and really dishes out a good ult to save the Twitch. But oh my god, that ult was pretty much, as Kintachi said, that when Braum raises his shields, the ult's gonna be mitigated. The ult damage is gonna be mitigated a lot. But this bottom tower is, I guess, is gonna go down. Well, that ult from Leona was actually really nice to slow the three of them down. Xin Zhao burns Ghost for no reason, and nothing really comes of it, and they're gonna back off and just farm. I guess Xin Zhao got DC'd. That's why they paused. Yay, they are resuming. Not a lot going on, except for that almost fight that we saw. That fight was culminating, coming into fruition, almost, and then it didn't happen. Meanwhile, Vicky going aggressive on Vladimir, but Vladimir is going to be doing more damage and healing back more unless Trundle uses his ultimate, which is on cooldown at this moment. So he wisely decides to disengage from that fight, but Pain still lays down the pain on Trundle using his Q and E, which is going to be, he is manaless of course, and that pretty much allows Vladimir to spam his spells whenever the hell he wants and just lay down a lot of free harass, pushing him out of lane. And you can see that a CS difference has culminated because of that harass. It's already up to 29 CS lead.
Purple
So,
team's turret has been
and
destroyed.
we do see the first tower going down, and it's in favor for blue team. I guess they're gonna get another tower, which is the bot lane tower, because it's only one hit away from being destroyed.
Purple
And there it
team's turret
is,
has
it
been
gets
destroyed.
destroyed. Meanwhile, Vladimir entering the enemy's jungle, chasing away Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao actually doesn't want to engage on him or have anything to do with the Vladimir, so he's just circling around and wisely uses a super trinket on the bush next to his red buff to clear it out. Meanwhile, the blue buff is going to be going to Kassadin, as expected. Painmare is coming in back in the lane. Trundle backs off just at the mere sight of Pain because he knows that he has a lot of damage in his kit so far. Meanwhile, Bradley going in for the Xin Zhao. Ult hits Xin Zhao with the ult, and I guess Xin Zhao is gonna die. Xin Zhao does die, but here comes Ari, kills King Bradley. Forbidden Requiem is there as well, and Vladimir. Forbidden Requiem charges back in, slows down Trundle. I guess Trundle is gonna die. Trundle is gonna die because the ult's on him, and then the Kassadin Rift walks in to secure the kill on the Trundle. So that was actually King Bradley going in, baiting Xin Zhao and Trundle coming in. Meanwhile, Twitch is coming in with Invis, but he's not gonna get anything out of it. Because if he goes in, he's gonna get screwed. So it was worth. Yes, hashtag worth. Kassadin picked up a kill, Vladimir picked up a kill. Oh my god, LoL-BD is actually really ballsy going in like that.
Meanwhile, Lucian and others,
they actually did drag it in the meantime. Yeah. So pretty much really nice plays and really nice planning from blue team to secure a 4.2k, it's a 5k gold lead right now. Wow, that's actually really nice. From the culmination of those events, they gathered a 5k gold lead. So pretty much proves that you don't have to kill people hundreds of times to gain a gold lead. You actually need to force objectives.
Now, there's a smell you can feel.
Medical Dot saying thanks to you, Red One, on YouTube.
Yeah, well, thanks for saying thanks to me, I guess. And, well, yeah, I'm reading the comments now. It says, Pain wanted to play, can't say no to younger bro. Wow. He's actually a caring bigger bro, even though Pain's pretty much a retard. He's my friend, that's why I called him a retard. Now,
meanwhile, there's 5
combo, Wukong ultimate Leona, that just pretty much decimated purple team. That was really impressive, and all of them walk away with so little HP. Lucian gets a last minute Q on them. The W isn't enough, and Invincible's greed. Invincible got so greedy, and Twitch picked up a quadra kill in the process. Meanwhile, Brett comes in. I don't know what he was planning on doing. I think he wanted to secure the kills, but even after that awesome initiation by Leona and Wukong, they still couldn't keep it together because Twitch wasn't being focused, and Twitch just dealt serious amounts of damage to them and scored a quadra kill, and this match just got back into the balance again. Alright, so after that awesome fight, I guess both teams are equally matched right now because Twitch is 4-1-0 and has picked up a Blade of the Rune King before 20 minutes, which is going to enable him to reach a huge power spike. And Lucian is 2-1-1 with an Infinity Edge himself. Bradley has a Spirit of the Elder Lizard and a brutalizer, so he isn't lacking in the damage department either. Meanwhile, Pain has completed his Zhonya's Hourglass and Hextech Revolver, while Kassadin has gone the tankier Kassadin route and gone for a Rod of Ages, and now he's going to be building a Blasting Wand, I guess for a Death Cap or something else, maybe a Zhonya's, we'll see. Now, Twitch is actually going for the Yumu's Ghostblade build, as you can see from the Brutalizer in his inventory. Meanwhile, Expired getting caught out by Forbidden Requiem. I guess he's gonna die, but Forbidden Requiem is gonna die in the process as well to Ari's damage. So it's not a total loss, but still, it's a kill to Kassadin, and Kassadin actually snowballs really hard. But Ari has picked up a DFG, even though she has like, how much CS is 62 CS deficit behind Kassadin. Now that's pretty much a lot of CS difference.
Our sparse item is like DFG. I mean, I don't know, but could have been something else.
Well, DFG actually provides more single target bursts, so she's playing the old Assassin Ari route. Like, it's not old Assassin Ari route, like, it's the route that, it's the build that actually propelled her back into competitive play. Because Mage Ari was the first build that that players built on Ari when she was released at first. She was built like a mage, death cap, AP items and all. And then people started playing her as an assassin who will jump through the front lines and then target the ADC. So I guess that's what he plans to do. And yes, as you can see, Kassadin is going for Zhonya's Hourglass, as evidenced from the Seeker's Arm Guard that he has picked up right now after dying. Meanwhile, Trundle has half-completed items like a Ruby Crystal, a Null Magic Mantle. I mean, that's a Negatron Cloak, a Bilgewater Cutlass. So not any completed items coming for him. Meanwhile, I guess Xin Zhao wants to go for a Bilgewater Cutlass, which will eventually be turned into a Blade of the Ruin King. So both junglers going very squishy in this game, not building tanky at all from the mid game.
Yeah, also the Twitch. I mean, you talked about the Yomu's Ghostblade. The recent buffs to ranged champions. I mean, Yomu's Ghostblade now gives 6 seconds to range champions too, which used to give to only melee champions. It was like 4 seconds for only ranged champions. So the buff, it actually helped Twitch. I mean, it goes really well with his abilities. So I guess that's really nice item.
Yeah, but still, the lifesteal nerfs on Blade of the Ruin King was really weird, I guess. And the movement speed slow was also reduced. Maybe, I guess it was 35% before, it's 25% now. So that pretty much took away some of the power that Blade of the Ruin King had. But it is fair to say that Blade of the Ruin King did have too much power for an item costing 3,200. Like, it gave you attack speed, it gave you attack damage and lifesteal, and it made your basic attacks deal percentage HP damage. On top of that, it had an active which dealt the target champion's maximum health and slowed him down. So this item actually has utility and damage for whoever builds it. So it is actually really too powerful to be an item of 3k gold. So, and blue team pick up their third and final outer turret, which was the mid lane turret, securing all the outer turrets and putting them to a 5k gold lead again, even after that mishap in mid. So it's still pretty much anyone's game, but now they have a set target to focus, which was Twitch. Before, Twitch wasn't really causing that much problems before that fight. He already died once in lane, so they were like, let's not focus Twitch so much, let's just focus on the others. And then when Twitch just rampaged on through and picked up a quadra kill, they gained the target. So they're gonna be looking to insta burst Twitch really quickly from now on. That's what that fight has done for them. Okay, another pause coming in. I guess someone's DC or lagging.
A summoner has disconnected.
And it is indeed Invincible again, with his internet problems, sadly.
It needs an invincible internet.
Yes, actually, he does need an invincible internet because his internet keeps dying on him at the wrong times, making him uninvincible. Still, it's interesting to see how this match will go. If you remember, the last match it was like this: all the laners were winning except for bot lane, where Mystical Elf God on Caitlyn was snowballing. But then BD Kill Dart just started focusing Caitlyn so much that she couldn't actually do anything. So that's what they have to do now. Follow in his footsteps. Focus the ADC down first, and then you have the game.
Let's check out YouTube comments. Yeah.
There have been no new YouTube comments after Asif Arman's. So yeah. We are still waiting for Invincible to reconnect. If you're just tuning in, this is game 2 of the first semifinal between Godlike Gaming and Math Thrashers. Math Thrashers won the first game. It was a very topsy-turvy match, I should say, but the last 3 team fights went in favor of Math Thrashers, so that's why they won. Well, last 3 team fights, 2 of them went in favor of Math Thrashers, 1 in favor of Godlike Gaming due to a mishap from Math Thrashers' part. So, but still, they did pick up a resounding victory over them after the last team fight where they looked really dominant. So we are getting this game unpaused, finally, as Invincible has reconnected, and I just lagged a bit, and then the game just turned on by itself. King Bradley, and then, yeah, but Siam is pretty dead right now. He gets caught out, like, in the middle of no man's land, and he just gets killed. Now, well, King Bradley just reconnected just in time. not that long of a pause time, just 5 seconds or 3 seconds. So yeah. Still, what was Siam doing in that position? He shouldn't have been there. He should have just been more cautious. But he should have been more cautious about his positioning. Wards are going down left, right, and center. We do see a huge concentration of purple team wards near the blue team's jungle entrance and dragon, and their own jungle as well. So purple team wards are actually really far and spread out, while blue team has put down wards, but not that spread out. They're only concentrated near the mid lane area, and they have one household ward near the white camp of purple team. That's pretty much it. And everyone's just safely farming in their lanes. Twitch thought about doing an invisible initiation, but then turned around as he saw that his teammates are not interested in doing a fight right now, so that plan doesn't come into fruition. Well, you can see Kassadin, oh my god, the amount of damage that he deals with just one QE combo right now is just insane. 204 CS. Ari's just lagging behind with 139 CS. This is not looking good for them. And if they don't do something now, like if purple team can't make a fight happen that will give them advantage, they're gonna have some really hard problems coming in. Forbidden Requiem actually laid down quite some amount of damage with his Q, even on Xin Zhao, but Xin Zhao doesn't, the only magic resist item that Xin Zhao has is his Merc Shred, so it makes sense that he's getting damage so far. Meanwhile, Pain going deep, and then SkyBD trying to initiate. Pain, Bradley goes and knocks up 3 people, the Leona ult, the Vladimir ult, all hit in succession, and that deals a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Kassadin comes in. Isn't quite enough, doesn't quite deal enough to kill the people, but Bradley comes in and steals away guess not steal away because Kassadin used Azania, so he just gave up the kill. Bradley was ballsy enough to use his E under tower and then pick it up as well. So another calculated fight from blue team, which will get them the inhibitor turret.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
And I guess they want to go in for the inhibitor as well. Meanwhile, it's a 4v4 situation. Kassadin gets caught out by the binding. It's a lot of damage put down on him, but they do get the inhibitor down. Now, Trundle flash in and pillars, but the slow from Kassadin is gonna be enough to slow him down, I guess, because he doesn't have any gap closures or anything. Painmare just laughs at him, disrespecting. Well, it's always nice to see. It's always fun to see these lighthearted moments in the game. It gets hairy when the other players take offense at it. So let's hope everyone just knows that all of this is being done in jest, and there's nothing to be offended by this. Meanwhile, Ari goes in, tries to charm Vladimir again, and Painmare tools even again. So that's pretty much what happened last fight, and it happened right now again. Ari needs to know the fact that she cannot taunt a Vladimir while he has his pool off a cooldown. He needs to be more preemptive with his taunts, and they should be landing on Lucian or the Kassadin instead of the Vladimir. Instead of being targeted at the Vladimir, of course, because she's only targeting the Vladimir, she's not even hitting him. So there's a Dragon Dance going down. King Bradley's making his way down towards the bottom lane. It's a 4v2 situation right now. Twitch turns on ultimate, and I guess they did get the nice steal away by Bradley, and they're gonna get 2 kills as well. That was actually a really nice play by him. The taunt does not hit anyone. Leona comes in, misses her Zenith Blade on Ari, but oh my god, the insane damage from Kassadin. The E comes in from Wukong. The ignite is gonna be enough to kill the Braum. Now Vladimir comes in. Is he gonna go into range to kill the Twitch? No, he decides to back off. And blue team are looking in a solid commanding position right now. This is going one-sided. This is going one-sided actually, this match. Purple team are actually really struggling to keep up with the immense amount of pressure that blue team is exerting, coupled with the fact that their team fights have been pretty much perfect, actually, blue team's team fights.
Yeah, they pretty much won every lane. I mean, if you see top lane, mid lane, also the bot lane, they pretty much dominated every single lane. So
yeah, the lane winning was enough to send them back into, lane dominance was enough to propel them into success. I guess Expired could have done more as the jungler in this game. He's 056. He hasn't done much in the laning phase. He's only died a few times in the team fights and landed his ultimates, and some strays got killed from which he picked up the assists.
I guess he could have done much more better with Jarvan.
Yeah, I guess the Jarvan pick would have been better instead of a Xin Zhao pick, because Xin Zhao isn't that strong. And look at him, he's not even snowballing, and yet he's building offensive items, so there's problems with his build as well. He should not have gone for a Bilgewater Cutlass and a Hexdrinker. He should have gone for more tanky items after his Lizard Elder. Like, look at Bradley, even though he's 326, he stopped after Brutalizer and then picked up a Randuin's Omen. So he's going to be more effective in team fights than Xin Zhao, even though he has lesser offensive items than him. Because junglers need to build semi-tanky from the mid game, because when team fights break out, usually the jungler is the one who is initiating, and so you need some tankiness to go along with your ballsiness, because you're not going to survive if you go in 5 people and then you see that you have almost next to no tankiness.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
Things are going down by blue team to secure that open inhib. I guess that's
They'll be
their best
right
decision right
under
now. They
the
can secure the open inhib. Vlad needs to join his team because they really want to take the inhib, but he wants to bring in the minion wave with him as well. Now Wukong goes in. He does not want to initiate because he only tagged the Braum with his EQ combo. This is gonna be an easy inhib. Now Ari goes in. Vlad actually gets dealt a lot of damage, but the AoE is so strong from blue team. They get obliterated, and Mystical Elf God is being zoned out by King Bradley so hard. He couldn't even deal any damage to the rest of the teammates of blue team. And this is gonna be GG for blue team, a resounding victory for them against Godlike Gaming.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed. Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
This wasn't actually that topsy-turvy as the first game. This was really one-sided from the get-go.
Dominating game.
Yeah, Thrashers are actually looking really strong. They might just be one of the favorites to win this tournament. I mean, they might go on to win the tournament. They were the favorites from the first group stages when they beat Nox Ignis, but now they might just go on to win the tournament. I'm a bit nervous right now, actually, because I don't want to face them in the. If we win the semifinals tomorrow against Sirius Genjam, we'll be facing these guys in the finals, and that's pretty much daunting. But
Whoever
GG,
goes to
well,
final is going to be a really tough opponent for them. I mean, as Thrashers, they have
yeah.
literally obliterated Godlike Gaming. So
Yeah, and Godlike Gaming aren't pushovers either. They are actually a really nice team. They pretty much dominated their group stage matches, and to be defeated like this in the second match by Thrashers, that was pretty much unexpected. But I guess it was bound to happen because jungler pressure wasn't adequate enough. And the thing is that Ari fell behind in farm so much in comparison to Kassadin, and the Trundle pick against the Vladimir was not really that good, actually. It was actually the thing that, set them back.
So yeah, we're closing for today, and that's the end of semifinal 1. Tune in tomorrow for the semifinal 2. We'll post stream link again in our group, so tune in there for all the link and all the infos. The second semifinal is going to be a game between Sirius Ganjam versus Noxus Ignis Elimination. That's really going to be a really good match. And after that, probably we'll have the finals on Friday. So that's it. That's all for today. It's a red one. You want to say something?
Thanks, guys, for tuning into our stream and watching and hearing my incessant, annoying commentary. and it was a nice game, both teams. Thank you for entertaining us with those matches, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. I won't see you guys tomorrow, and because I will be playing. So cheer on for Nox or Sirius Genjam, whichever team you support tomorrow, and hope to play some really good matches tomorrow. So yeah,
Exactly. So me, IGX Kenny, and here the red one, signing out today. Good night.